Steve Brichta. And the 136-pounder. Small. Stayed down, Bo, on that shot and opens with a strike.
Sure did, Chris, and he's a bright young player. A lot of talent. He's young, ambitious, and he's got a tough match, though, against Steve Martin. At only age 21, has been very close to winning a lot of titles. One-time champion.
170-pounder, powerful. And Steve Martin answers with a strike of his own. A young man who last year won $32,000. This year, he'd like to do a little better than he's been doing. Not bad, though.
Steve Martin, one of the young power players on the tour. At the top of the swings, notice how he cocks his wrist to get that ball in that tremendous, strong position. Then low at the foul line, and watch how close he slides to that foul line. That's a precision approach.
It really is by an inch, folks.
Many hours of practice.
10,450 thus far this year. So now, Steve Martin of Kingsport, Tennessee, has opened with a double, and back up is Steve Brichta, of Allentown, a 20-year-older.
Chris, from the same area as Eddie Ressler Jr., who has been an excellent star on the tour for the last 5 years.
Sort of a comeback for Brichta. Leaving the 7-pin, a young man who hadn't bowled in a PBA tournament since last August. Why did he leave the 7, Bo?
Chris, he made a good shot, as you can see by his profile here. He has a good push away. He gets down low. He's strong in the upper body, and he controls his body very well. Now he comes through at the bottom of the swing, right next to his leg, and makes an excellent shot. Unfortunately, leaves the solid 7. Look at that good finish.
Ooh, came back. So it's a strike and a spare for Brichta. This is the Bowling Proprietors Association of America's United States Open. Second year that it's been held here at the Bradley Bowl. The BPAA having a membership of 4,100 bowling establishments, or a total of approximately 87,000 lanes. And Bo, you used to be a member when you and your father had an establishment in St. Louis?
Sure enough, Chris, and it's a strong association and a great tournament.
Brichta of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Third frame, a strike. And Martin is up, leading by 10 pins. It has a double working, shooting in the third frame. If you just joined us, this is our first game live from Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Three in a row.
And you just couldn't go down there and place the ball in your pocket by hand any better than Steve Martin has in the first 3 frames, Chris. To set the stage for this championship pair of lanes, it's 29 and 30 here at Bradley Bowl. The left-hand lane for both right-handers and left-handers hooks a little bit more than the right-hand lane, lane 30. The reason being, the left-hand lane has a little more wear on it, and in the lay of the wood makes the ball hook just a little more. So watch the players on the left-hand lane. If they can hit that lane, I'm sure that they'll be very tough. Martin going for 4 in a row.
And he leaves the 10 pin on the left lane here in our championship finals of the United States Open.
What the players call the weak 10. Now here's the difference. Watch the 6 pin, the second pin in this part of your screen. Lay down in the channel. It doesn't get the impetus or power from off the 3 pin to drive up into the 10. Now the solid 10 is when the 6 pin doesn't lay down and goes around the top.
Cross lane for the 10. And the young man who has one superstition, he chews gum when he bowls. We'll be back with more after this message. The great Johnny Petraglia, finishing 6th, in other words. He has to watch today, but you've seen him so often over the last few years on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Super athlete and guy.
Had a great match with this young man up on the approach. Steve Brichta defeated Johnny 217 to 191 in the 56th game of this tournament yesterday.
And that's a big double for Brichta. Open with a strike if you just joined us. Marked with a spare, now a double, trailing by 9. Whereas his opponent, Martin, opened with a triple and marked with a spare in the 4th. So Brichta now will be shooting in the 5th frame. There you see his statistics. He is the smallest in the field today.
Strong in the upper body, though, Chris, and that gives him the power to get that ball through and a good snap at the bottom of the swing.
Oh, a very high hit, and that's 3 in a row. Now the match, 1 bowling pin separating the two, and Brichta in the lead at the moment.
Great break for the young man, but remember in the second frame he left a solid 7, which would have kept the match even at that point. Right now, Martin trails by 1 on the great break that Steve Brichta got. 5th frame.
Second appearance on our telecast for Martin. Very good. Answering the challenge, the pressure, getting a strike in the 5th frame of our first game. Now the winner will go against Guppy Troop. And heavily wrapped is the right forearm and wrist, Nelson, of Martin.
Chris, Martin, as many of the young players, throws the power ball, and they put a lot of pressure on their wrist and have a lot of trouble with tendonitis and whatnot, though. We've seen Palmer Fahlgren lately having trouble with his wrist. Marshall Holman and Steve Martin, once again, they have to protect that wrist, but that's a sacrifice they make for that tremendous power.
And he leaves the 10 pin on the left lane. Let's take a comparison from behind of their styles.
The closest thing to watch is the arm swing. Now watch how both players bring the ball back and cock their wrists at the top of the swing. There's, at the point of release, there's Steve Martin, the good wrist action. Now watch Brichta, almost the same. Cocks his wrist, releases almost the same at the bottom of the swing.
And meanwhile, Martin had no problem in covering the 10 pin on the left lane, so he marked with a spare in the 6th in this very close first match. At stake today, winner's share of the $131,000 purse is $21,000 on our live telecast from Windsor Locks, Connecticut. 3 in a row, shooting in the 6th. Well, everybody needs a little break. 4 in a row.
Chris, watch this unique angle that we have. Here's the pin action on that last shot. Now watch from the right-hand corner, a pin shoot across and completely tear out the 4 pin. There it is, almost a wide open split. You see the 4 and the 10. Now here comes the pin across. What a tremendous break. A nosedive at an opportune time. Brichta takes an 11-pin lead, and he can increase it to 21 if he can make a good shot here.
Leaving the 7 pin on that left lane, Steve Brichta of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Thus far this year, he has earned last year rather, he earned $1,400 looking for his first paycheck today.
And you can see
he's going to get one.
See his match play record, 14-9-1, 1 tie, 24 games in the finals, 32 games of qualifying this week, 56 games in all.
Beautiful form, neat follow-through, spare in the 6th frame. Martin trailing by 10, Brichta leading. We'll be back after this. The Bradley Bowl, our live coverage, you're looking at Steve Martin. He'll bowl next. And this week, 217 average on the finals pair, 202. In this championship, the United States Open. Spare up, shooting in the 7th frame. First match. Open with 3. So now with a strike in the 7th frame, you see the score. 10 pin difference.
And you see the power ball of Steve Martin. And I asked Steve how he developed so much power in his game, and here's what he had to say.
When I was growing up, I lived right next to a bowling alley, so I got to oil the lanes how I wanted to, and I slicked them up pretty much, like, because I always liked a big hook when I was growing up. So I just wanted to throw one, so I slicked the lanes up so I could practice at it.
Well, always nice to control conditions.
Right now he needs a strike to even the match.
All even. So now, Brichta of Allentown, Pennsylvania. He has a spare up in the 7th. He'll be shooting in the 8th frame. Remember the winner in our format, which has been here for a total of 19 years, is that the winners advance. And the winner of this match, our first, will meet Guppy Troop. The winner of that game will go against Mike Albee, and then the finals against Earl Anthony. Crossing over and leaving the 7.
Good breaks have been in the favor of Steve Brichta so far. He's made a few errant shots, as you see, crossing over to the Brooklyn for the left-handers, the 1-3, and just kind of mushing the pins down, avoiding the split. Almost gets a break and carries the 7-pin. Cross lane, he'll be trailing by 1 if he converts the spare.
All right, to the right of center, going for the 7. Shooting it just like he did in the second frame, covering the 7-pin. The young man that, like Martin, lived close to a bowling establishment. And starting at age 9, and at age 15 was averaging 200.
Come down to the critical stage of the match. The last 3 out of 4 frames, Brichta has been wild. He was close to the pocket in the 7th frame, but he's trailing by 1. If he's going to win, he has to get his act together right now.
And in that foundation frame, a strike here at the Bradley Bowl, live, United States Open.
For Steve Martin, the big shot in the match. He leads by 1, double working, can extend that lead to 11. First match, first leg of the Triple Crown of Bowling, the U.S. Open.
Double working for Martin. Leaving a 10 in the 9th frame.
Wow, Chris, for every good break that Brichta has had, Steve Martin has got an almost corresponding bad break. The match is all even if Martin converts this through 9 frames. Actually, advantage to Brichta, has the strike working. And there's Steve Martin's lovely wife, Kim, studying the action. She knows the score and the amount of money involved.
Hard cross lane to cover the 10. Spare in the 9th frame. Kim watching with very little expression. It's harder on them, Bo, than it is the person out there bowling.
I agree. Sitting back there, you almost feel helpless. But here's the situation. You can see both players even through 8 frames. Slight advantage to Brichta with the strike working. The possibility of a tie in our first match. Martin needs a strike to stay even.
And gets it.
What a powerfully solid game he has bowled. He has bowled 10 frames almost meticulously perfect. Every ball with power, everyone with the same speed, hit the line solid. Right now, he can take the lead in the match with 1 more strike. He's going at a 228 pace right now. Brichta also at a 228 pace. As always on the Pro Bowlers Tour, the man who can perform in the clutch will win.
From Kingsport, Tennessee. Leaving the 4-7.
Brichta had the choice of starting lane in this match, Chris, and he'll get the finish on his favorite lane, lane 30. And the situation becomes almost imminent for a tie. Is this: if Martin makes the spare, he has 228. Brichta with a spare strike would also have 228.
And in case of a tie, a 2-frame roll-off.
Oh,
Chopping the 4.
What a mistake at a point there, Chris. That's almost critical. Now he opens the door for Brichta easily to win. Brichta now with 1 strike on his first ball. Here's Martin's reaction. He can't believe it. After bowling so well, every ball he makes 1 slight mistake. Brichta with a strike here will win the match. He needs strike here or spare strike to win. He could finish with 228, Martin 227. It's not over.
No, 5-7. 5-10 make it.
With all the bad breaks that Martin has got and all the good breaks that Brichta has gotten, first time in a match that Brichta's got a bad break. Now he has to convert this split. If he does not convert, Martin is the winner. He needs to make this split and strike to win. If he doesn't convert, Martin will go on to meet Troop.
5-10. Bowling. What a tough way to make a living. 214 to Steve Martin's 227. An unusual first match. Stay with us.